Hello everyone, Christopher here, and welcome back to the Boldly Grow Homestead. As the 2020 growing season approaches, I thought it was, probably overdue to talk about the 2019 growing season, which was my first year gardening, and incidentally my first year on YouTube as well. So in this video, I'm going to go through 10 different observations. Some of them, I guess you could say, are positive, some of them you could say are negative, but all of them are lessons. And a lot of them were fun as well, even the ones that didn't go the way I was hoping they would go. So, let's go. Homesteading, the original frontier. These are the adventures of the Boldly Grow Homestead. Its continuing mission to coexist with the environment, to find new plant varieties and new inspirations, to boldly grow like no one has grown before. So the first lesson of 2019 was you get what you pay for. So I had just moved back to New York from Cincinnati, so I didn't really have much of a setup yet. So we went to our local Ocean State job lot, bought a relatively inexpensive greenhouse with the idea that, we'll get a head start on the season, be able to start some seeds outside in the greenhouse and be able to out the window, and it was halfway across the property, and had taken the bench and all the seed starting stuff with it. So long story short, we didn't get to do any of our seed starting. We had to end up direct sowing seeds, and that definitely delayed or impacted how our garden went in 2019. So definitely make sure if you're going to invest in something that's quality. All right, observation number 2, we have a deer problem. So we live in suburbia, and it was no surprise that we had deer in the neighborhood. We see the deer droppings in the yard all the time, and we've spotted them in the yard from time to time. But I did not expect them to be as big of a problem as they ended up being. There was one weekend I had gone up to Maine for a family event, and we had about 30 unripe Roma tomatoes on our plant. They were going to be the first tomatoes we were going to get to harvest. Well, it came back at the end of the weekend, and the deer had eaten all 30 of the Roma tomatoes. They devoured the hostas that I had put out under the walnut tree. They ate a lot of the leaves off the squash plants, the calendulas, all sorts of things. We tried little makeshift fences, and putting down hair clippings seemed to help a little bit, but we're definitely going to have to take a more proactive approach in 2020 to try to deter them. And I'm hoping that I can do a better job at planting aromatics around the perimeter of the bed, and hopefully that'll help deter them. But we'll see. It'll be another adventure with the deer. They are adorable, though. Lesson number 3. Slugs also eat everything. Slugs were probably a bigger issue for me, even more so than the deer, primarily because I was direct sowing things, and the slugs get to everything as they were seedlings, and thus stopped everything from growing. Like all my zinnias and milkweed and all that stuff, they were destroyed before they ever had a chance, thanks to the slugs. But slugs like beer. It's not the best preventative method, but it's a good way of slowing them down. You put a little beer in a shallow tin, and they are like flies to the flame, or whatever that expression is. They go in the trap, drink it, and drown. And incidentally, my aunt's box turtle also very much likes slugs. But that's not as fun as that was. It's not a very effective solution, because there's a lot more slugs than one little turtle can eat. But he was very happy. He was barking away. Then no turtles barked. But anyways, this is going to be another thing I'm going to have to tackle. I was looking through what is that, Carrots Like Tomatoes book, and it mentions that apparently if you mulch with oak leaves, it'll help deter slugs, which I find incredibly ironic since right smack dab in the middle of my garden bed is an oak tree. So there was definitely a lot of oak debris in the garden, but I didn't specifically mulch with just the oak leaves, so I'll play with it and see what happens. Lesson 4 should have been a bit more obvious, but heat-loving plants love heat, and I should have planned better accordingly. I have the main garden and the side garden, and the side garden's on the east side of the house and gets some really good direct sunlight throughout the day, and that's where I had put my vining crops, squashes and trellising beans and peas and things like that, with the idea that they could spread out and they wouldn't take over a lot of space in the main garden. Well, for one thing, direct sun, and it's right up against the house, so you have the radiant heat. So the squashes didn't do too well. A lot of them just got way too much heat and wilted and died. But on top of that, my tomatoes and peppers I put in the main garden, which has a lot more shade, less direct sun, and they produced, but they were very stunted and very slow. So the tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, okra, ground cherries, they're all going to be moved to the side garden this year, and I'll move the other crops to the main garden. If you're interested in a more detailed discussion on what my overly zealous and overly complicated garden plan is for this year, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do a separate video on that. Alright, I also learned that you all very much enjoy watching people do dumb things. One of my most watched and most enjoyed videos was when I tried the Tabasco pepper out in the garden, which was a mistake. That little guy packs a lot of punch. But it was very funny. I'll leave the link below, so if you haven't watched it yet, you can go back and enjoy my pain. But it seems like a lot of you guys enjoyed it, so maybe I'll be foolish enough to do something like that in the future with some of the other hot peppers that I grow this year. So number 5 is nothing mind-blowing, but I really still love growing squashes and pumpkins. I grew a few Jack B. Littles, sugar pie pumpkin, some patty pans, zucchinis, and so on. But they were a lot of fun to grow, even with my issues with the heat, the deer, and potentially vine borers. I'm not certain on that one. So I'm definitely going to be growing a bunch more this year. I have way too many squash seeds this year, well over 12.5 varieties, and I do not have the space for that at the moment. So I'm going to have to be picky on what I plant. So if you like squashes and pumpkins, be sure to come along for that. But yeah, they're a lot of fun, and I'm going to keep growing them. Number 6. Now, I always knew there was all sorts of types of pollinators out there, but it was very fascinating seeing them firsthand in the garden this year. I think one particular day I had 5 or 6 different types of bees all on my flowers at one time. It was very fascinating. And of course the butterflies were over. I saw the hummingbird playing in the buckwheat. And it's definitely something I'm going to try to continue to encourage. Hopefully get a better setup of flowers this year than I did last year. And continuing to bring all the fun critters in. Alright, number 8. Edible flowers are as fun as I expected them to be. Now, I'm not about to sit down with a bowl full of flowers and chow down like I would a salad, but they do have some fun textures and flavors and obviously colors, and they add a nice little splash to a salad, should you choose to do so. I did film a video where I taste tested a bunch of the edible flowers that I was growing this year. And of course, I'm not the only one who liked the edible flowers. The pollinators and the deer were also big fans. Number 9. Enjoy your harvest no matter the size. I'm an avid watcher of harvest videos on YouTube, much like probably most of you. And so, I see all these people with their baskets and baskets full of tomatoes and peppers and squashes and all sorts of good things. And I never really had that, which again, first year wasn't unexpected. Soil needs building, all that good stuff. But even just bringing in like a half a bushel of green beans was extremely satisfying. Like everything tasted better. This was stuff I had grown myself. And so don't worry about the size of your harvest. Enjoy it no matter what. Enjoy it for what it is. It's something that you did yourself, you created, and it's fresh, healthy food for you and your family. Last and certainly not least is that having garden companions, especially those four-legged ones, are it's great. So Mischief is my garden cat. When I first adopted her 6-7 years ago, she was an indoor-outdoor cat, spending most of her time outdoors in the city of Cincinnati. And since we moved back here to suburbia, I can't really let her out as much without supervision. Every neighbor's dog, or every neighbor's yard has a big old dog in it, and I've seen her try running straight for them. She's got no fear. So I can only keep her out when I'm out there, so I tend to bring her out when I'm gardening, and she loves it. She likes to sniff all the flowers, sniff all the plants, check out the bees, eat the grass, and it's fun being able to share that with someone, or in this case, my little Mischief. Anyways, that's 10 fun little quirky things that I observed in 2019 as I go into the next growing season. I thank you for being part of my first year gardening and my first year on YouTube. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. Let me know in the comments below again if you want me to do a video on my plan for this year. And don't forget to boldly grow, friends.